Hey there, Virtual Rafters! Thanks for clicking and welcome to the final walkthrough of the story series for the game of Raft. It's exciting, but also a little sad that the game is coming to an end. Such a fantastic title, but at least there's lots for builders still left to do in the game, especially since this location includes more vending machines to find cool decor items for your raft. Per usual, I have Trustworthy along for this adventure, and this isn't our first rodeo. For this location, you'll want to prepare your inventory with plenty of food and drinks, and salve too, as you will be facing off with a few rabid hyenas that seem to have gotten into some toxic sludge. While we've cleared this in as little as about 45 minutes before, if it's your first time, you might be here for a couple of hours. There are only 3 notes and 3 blueprints in this location, but those blueprints are worth the trouble, especially that backpack upgrade. Now, we can break this story island down into 3 sections: the harbor docks at the center of the sinking towers, Dettos farm, and the skyscrapers. Be sure to watch for hyenas around the corner as you walk the harbor. Our first order of business is restoring the power to the settlement by getting the generator hooked up. At this point, we find a new game mechanic for this island: crate stacking, and shuffling up to build these stairways to the rooftop so that we can climb up to connect the cables. We can then drag those electric cables in a pattern to restore the system. Locating the generators isn't too difficult. They're giant bluish-gray machines located at the edge of the main harbor platforms. And I'll just pop up a quick diagram here to show you approximately those power lines and where they need to run. Plus a couple of tips here. Players can't pick up and move boxes while they already have a cable in hand, so consider your strategy before picking up the cable. Also, players are able to jump 2 crates high, so you can work that into your plan. Now that you've got the power restored, it's on to Dettos Island to do some more fixing up to progress our way through. Running through the harbor and around the outside of the main skyscraper will get you to a field filled with pipes in an oddly shaped, inventive sprinkler system by Detto. It's here we might get a little caught up on the puzzle that needs to pump water from one side of the farm over to the other through these 3 puzzles. Although I'm sure everyone might see it their own way and have their own methods, I found that it's helpful to start by lining up the outermost ring with the inlets and the outlets, and then adjust the rings that are closer to the center until the water is flowing through. Now on to the next task here. If you don't already have a shovel on hand, there will be one near the door of Detto's hut along with one of the story notes. It's actually a map of the intermediate area around the hut, marking all the locations that you'll need to finish for the next objective. Open the player journal with the T key to look at the map and the red circles corresponding to the mounds of dirt that you're digging up looking for a code. Those digits are for the lock on Detto's hut, so once you're inside, you'll want to look around for this blueprint for the backpack upgrade. There is a spiral staircase running around the outside of the hut. If you climb up it, you'll find a room at the top with a harpoon. Firing this will launch a cable to a nearby skyscraper, giving you a zipline to cross to the second half of the story zone. Inside this small lobby, there will be a table with a key. Grab that before taking the second zipline. You'll land directly outside of a door with double padlocks, and we will return to this door in a moment, but we need to get the second key first, which if you keep running down the wooden dockway and around the building, you will come to another large building with double doors and chains across them. This small stairway to the hut has the third and final note, along with the key that you'll need for the double padlock door at the base of the zip line. Now, you can return back to that door with the double padlock and let yourself in for the start of the next round of puzzles. The elevator will open up to a sort of jumping, ducking, and try not to fall into the safety net kind of challenge. Once you've found your way around this little mess of a puzzle to the top, there will be a hole in the side of a building leading to a lobby with a broken elevator. On the counter next to the elevator, there will be a hammer. You want to grab that. It's basically the key to your next door across the maze area. And you'll find that by heading back and looking for a bamboo ladder to scramble up to smash the padlock. Inside this room is yet another puzzle. This one requires us to move a series of weights on and off a platform from different heights to solve it and get access to the next quest area. Cogs can be picked up, but players cannot jump with them. So ultimately the goal is to get the platform with the cogs to the top floor in this round. So climb up the ladder on the left side of the room and step onto the empty platform. You'll then be able to add or dump weights as you move between floors. Start by placing the weight marked 3 on the platform, go down and then place weight 1 on the platform, remove weight 3. Then you place weight 2 on the platform and remove weight 1. Head to the other side of the room, and you should be able to now grab a cog from the platform, exit out the door, and use it to lower the drawbridge on the other side. This will form a ramp that leads to the next hut. And what do we do here? Well, it's another puzzle with weights to move cogs to the upper floor. So use that ladder going up the left side of the room all the way to the 6th floor, jump onto that platform and add weight 5. Then add weight 1 and remove weight 5. Add weight 4 and then remove weight 1. Add weight 2 and then remove weight 4. Add weight 3 and then remove weight 2. After going through these combinations and raising the platforms with the cogs to the top floor, cross over and take one of those cogs with you out the door and down the stairs. At the bottom of those stairs, you will find another drawbridge mechanism for that cog. Once it's placed, another set of stairs is going to drop down to the huts below. And you'll want to take that cog with you and head towards the jumping maze area with the safety nets. Near the ledge is a pull handle for a zipline platform. Place the cog on the zipline platform and send it across, and then cross back through the maze yourself. This time, we're looking for that hole in the building, the same lobby in which we found the hammer and that broken elevator. If you sent the zipline and the cog back, then they should be waiting there for you by the ledge. You'll need to grab that cog and now take it into the elevator, inserting it into the elevator's open access panel. The now operational elevator will take you up several floors to another lobby. Exit through the hole of the building and follow the walkway down through the huts. There is a symbol drawn along the wall in bright blue and some crates around. Start stacking those crates to get up over this wall and up onto the ledge, which will trigger Olof's yelling and throwing of dynamite around the area. You will need to run around looking for more crates that can be stacked up to the ledge directly in front of him. Once you reach him, he will run away like a big baby and slam the door behind him. But look around the room really quick as you find a blueprint for the electric zipline and a key. Then exit the door to follow Olof. Wind up and around the outside of the building, across a walkway to a padlocked door where you can then use that key to pass through into what looks like a testing laboratory for these poor hyenas. The objective here is more crate stacking, this time dodging hyenas instead of dynamite. Now, once you're up on the ledge, you will find a staircase further heading to the upper floors of the building. Continue through the doorway and up the ramps. You'll come across a glass walkway that passes between the skyscrapers, and onto the other side you're going to find a boss fight, so get prepared. Once you drop down from the grate in the floor, the alpha fight will trigger with another one of Olof's required villain monologues. There's nothing very complicated about this fight. The alpha hyena will jump about the room attacking you and dropping toxic sludge everywhere. Then you'll want to dance around that. When Olof throws the hyena a steak snack, it will temporarily gain the ability to use a special attack. It may grab and hold the player for a short moment before you can return to attacking or start hurling rocks at you. At the end of the fight, the gates to the arena will open, leading to an elevator that will take you to an upper floor where Olof is hiding. As you approach, the coward keeps backing up to the ledge, and it figures this guy was an authoritarian rich brat type all the way through the plotline. They always turn out to be self-absorbed, backstabbing cowards. The trash will even take itself out, falling backward off the ledge so that you can jump down and grab the key off of his neck. And don't forget this like I did, but behind you on the table will be the final set of blueprints for the titanium tools. Taking the elevator again will put you on the 12th floor with a small door that will lead back out to the main harbor walkways. From here, we just need to find that large hut that had the chains across the door. It's just down and to the right. Once we open this door, we get the game's ending cutscene and an immediate port to the market hub area of Utopia.
When the ocean itself broke civilization, the survivors were left with nothing. Yet, they persisted. The forward scouts rose up from the wreckage, defied our flooded world, and brought back hope. Now Utopia stands free once again thanks to their actions. With this final chance, we can begin this slow and difficult road to recovery. From today on, we are all forward scouts, ready to discover the next step for humanity.
This little space has quite a few of the NPCs that we read notes from along the way. Plenty of free food and those vending machines that I mentioned. There's Utopia-specific decor in there that you'll probably want to browse before leaving. To close out my story review, there's only 2 notes from this location with any writing at all. The first is from Dettos' hut. It's Detto himself leaving behind information about Olof's arrival to Utopia with cages of hyenas in tow, a so-called army. But it seems that Detto's warning to Hyena and Ruben must have gone unheard considering what's in the second note that we find on the steps of the hut that everyone was locked in. It's essentially a bulletin warning to everyone in Utopia, saying that they took Olof in good faith upon his arrival. Yeah, taking capitalist types at good faith might be a bad idea. I did that recently and got burned too. Interesting that Hyena used the phrase exploited us at every turn. That's what capitalists do. She reports that the dissenters are locked up. Also an interesting choice of words. It's almost like a metaphor for what happens every time the system is challenged. I could read a lot into that line about rabid beasts beyond her talking about the hyenas. Ever had to deal with a privileged rich guy when they go irrational? I have, and rabid beast is kind of accurate. I think that the last note definitely does tie up the theme that is pervasive throughout the plot of Raft, that capitalism and the people infected with capitalist brain may not only be the end of our world, but will stop at nothing to continue enslaving and exploiting, even if civilization as we know it is over. So, it gives rise to a question about what really is the problem. But just consider that capitalism isn't just an economic system. It shapes the gray and white matter in our brains through the belief in individualism that enables our system. Every decision that we make and every action that we take is motivated by the system as it wires our neurons in the prefrontal cortex. Thinking in individualism may not be so harmless as we think. Not for ourselves or for this planet and the other people on it. I never intended to be very political on this channel, but times in the US are a little unsettling. And even though it seems like madness, there's an explanation behind all of it too. I'll be doing some social science and psychology research content on the channel in the near future about capitalism, its effects on the brain, and even stuff about rich people too. So if that interests you, check out the playlist. Maybe subscribe for some upcoming content. And thank you for sticking around this long in the video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and bye-bye!